Welcome back to Giant Monster Games. My name is Adrian. We're playing Affinity. We're playing the latest and greatest Affinity. And this is like the shadiest opening hand ever. But I think... Do I keep it? No, I think we're going to mulligan it. I mean, keeping a one-lander is not the end of the world with this deck, but keeping one-lander with, like, no actual, engine is not the best. This, on the other hand, is definitely keepable. 100% keepable. And Inventors Fair on top. That's a different question. No, I don't want the other land. I do not need 4 lands. That's kind of like a waste. A waste for us. So, yeah, let's go like this. Pay that, pay some life, and then run it back to our opponent. See what they have to say about our Affinity deck. By the way, if you're this is the first video. I mean of the week of this deck. I'm not actually going to do any more upgraded videos of this specific deck because it's already as upgraded as it can really get. So that's a thing just to keep in mind. And I think what we do is we go to combat, swing for 1. Which is going to be fun. So our opponent probably doesn't have anything. Main board artifact destruction in green is not really a thing. So I'm not too concerned about that. I was trying to think of like naturalized, but that's the wrong word. Nature's Claim. Main board Nature's Claim is not something you see very often. And this is, so it has improvise. So artifacts we control can help cast this spell. So what we do is we play Signal Pest with the Shivan Reef. And then we're going to hold up a Metallic Rebuke, and we're hopefully going to prevent our opponent from doing anything they want to do on their next turn. So this is basically counter. It's a mana leak for 1 blue mana, which I'm okay with. I think that's hilarious, especially because we swung in and it's funny. It's very funny. It is. I've never ever seen the Metallic Rebuke in an Affinity deck, and I'm liking it. It's a twist people don't generally see coming. What is our opponent doing? Our opponent is crying themselves to sleep because they're playing against Affinity. I understand your pain. I know what you must be going through. Ooh, our opponent's also playing some kind of a budget thing. And check it. So we go like this, and we don't have the blue mana. Oh, that's what we need to do. Oh, never mind. I lied to you guys. We needed the blue mana from this thing. To cast it, and we needed 2 artifacts, which we don't have. This is fine. I'm not too worried about this guy. But looks like we are playing against Red-Green Stompy, which is cool. Haven't seen Stompy around in a while, so it's kind of nice to see that. Mind you, I think we're going to be gaining more life than our opponent's going to be dealing damage to us at this point, so that's the thing. It's the thing our opponent needs to deal with. Hopefully we draw into a 0-drop. Oh, 1-drop. 1-drop is fine. And I think we just go to combat. Attack with everything. All of these things attack, which means we do 2 damage, we gain 2 life, opponent slows our opponent down a bunch. And then we're going to play the swamp, run down Vault Skirge, with the swamp for that matter, and cancel. That's annoying. So we need to pay the life first and then pay for the 1 mana. Blah. If you know what I mean. Okay, and then swing to our opponent's turn. Now we can play Metallic Rebuke correctly, because we do have the blue mana and we do have 2 artifacts, because this is an artifact land and this isn't, well, an actual artifact, which is cool. So hopefully our opponent will decide to play something big. I would love for our opponent to play something big, like just tap out everything, because he's playing against Affinity. He's like, I gotta run down Affinity. Ooh, that's fun. Well, let's counter it. So it's gonna be blue. We could use it for the land, sure. Or we're just going to pretend it's an artifact, which I think is more cool. Get style points for that one. All about the style points. Okay. Our opponent is going to say, well, I didn't see that coming. They definitely didn't. And they're not going to see us doing it again. They're going to be like, oh, again? What? And I guess he's just going to try and race us down. That said, I mean, we're going to be gaining 4 life next turn, so we kind of have the upper hand here, which I'm okay with. I am completely okay with. Ooh. So here's the question. Do I chief the Foundry, or do I hold up to counter his stuff again? I think we chief the Foundry. I think chief the Foundry is a better play. Just because we're going to gain more life. These guys become swinging in for 3/3, so that's actually 7 damage we're going to swing in for, which I think is a better play in the aggro kind of style. I haven't seen green-red Stompy in a while. That's kind of fun. I'm excited to see green-red Stompy. So yeah, so 6, 7 damage. 3 of it, 6 of it is lifelink. So we go back to 20. That's neat. Yeah. I mean, I keep. So here's the thing. Here's the thing about Stompy. Since how we're talking about Stompy, I'm saying, oh, yeah, it's neat to see Stompy. Stompy is a good new to Magic, new to Modern deck, but it is not competitive enough. I mean, the latest kind of iteration of it. That's another one that's funny. The latest iteration of it is. This doesn't do Infect. No, it's just Wither. Okay. The latest iteration of it is not terrible, but it's not. It's not good enough. Oh, Master of Etherium. I mean, I don't see why not. I guess we play Master of Etherium, and then we swing for lethal. Why not? Yeah, that was the thing. Yeah, going back, keeping back on track with what I was thinking about. It's not good enough. It's it'll win matches here and there, but I find it loses more often than it actually wins, which is just not really fun. Okay, so opponent scoops it. Opponent sees what's going on here. So we're playing against Stompy. What do we play against Stompy? I mean, we could play Whip Flare. The problem with Whip Flare is like it doesn't really kill anything that matters for us against Stompy, and it doesn't kill much. So I think we literally run it back the way it is. I mean, Shrapnel Blast. Actually, Shrapnel Blast should come in. We put in Shrapnel Blast and we take out. This is 4 damage to any target, which is actually pretty good. Metallic Rebuke is very good in this matchup. I think we take out Thoughtcast. And that's about it. Actually, no, we leave it Thoughtcast. We take out Hope of what is it? Hope of Ghirapur? Ornithopter? Gropper? That way. We take out this guy because it prevents our opponent from playing non-creature spells. He's playing a Stompy deck. He likely has no spells, and if he does have spells, he probably has something like one that gives double strike, which I can't remember the name of the card right now. He has like pump spells, likely. And this is a rad opening hand. Let's keep that. Sounds really good. So, Teamer Battle Rage. Likely, if he has anything, it'll be Teamer Battle Rage. Because he obviously swings into something, it's a 3-3, swings and makes it a 6-6, which is not bad. And our turn. Well, I guess we go Shivan Reef, Vault Skirge, and then Ornithopter? I mean, there is always an argument to not play Ornithopter immediately. The argument is that unless you have something that's going to benefit from having Ornithopter in play right now, there's no real reason to not to play it. We are going to play it though. Actually no, we're going to hold it up. We're going to make our opponent think that we don't have anything. Because literally that we can't attack him with it. It's not going to get benefit from having it, and he's going to bolt this guy, which is fine. Which is fine. Yeah, so we're going to hold up the Ornithopter, just be safe. I mean, who knows? He might have like an Anger of the Gods or something like that. He could have, well, obviously he could not have Anger of the Gods there. It's cost 3 mana, so that's the thing. I mean, he did have Lightning Bolt, which is funny. Which is very funny. The big thing is getting Etched Champion into play is going to be important for us as well. The thing is we need to have more artifacts. We don't quite have enough. Well, I think at this point we just run it to our opponent's turn. We need a third artifact. We need a third artifact, so then our Etched Champion gets protection from colors, from all colors. Yeah, one artifact away, one cheap artifact away from being able to do awesome stuff. That's what we are. That's what we are right now, which is okay. It's okay. Burning Tree Emissary. I'm just gonna pass through our opponent's turn. I'm not gonna do anything. I guess also if once we have 3 artifacts, we can play this thing cheap, very cheap. So you don't play Burning Tree Emissary unless you have other stuff. Oh, that's kind of cool. So he's gonna swing for 3 right away, which is cool for our opponent, not so cool for us. Hey, another Vault Skirge. That does help us out. What is the way to go though? We could run down the Vault Skirge. think we go mana efficient is the plan here. Go for efficiency, playing a 3 mana drop, and then next turn we can play these two guys as a better thing, or we could play another Etched Champion and an Ornithopter, give them both. That's theoretically an option as well. That said, if we play Vault Skirge in this, we could also Galvanic Blast one of his things away. We have options. We do have options. Because Galvanic Blast just deals 4 damage if we have 3 or more artifacts. Theoretically, we could have also used it on Burning Tree Emissary. Not on this guy, but we could have used it in that way as well. So we did have a couple options. I think being mana efficient is going to be better. Well, that said. Likely, though, so that's good for him. He does 3 damage to us as well. Not good for us. I mean, this makes the argument here that if we would have played down the Vault Skirge, he would have killed it, because the Vault Skirge gets lifelink, which is very helpful. It's going to allow us to stabilize. Not when we draw another one, though. Actually, is that bad? Is it bad? So it's going to be, what, 3, 4, 5 damage here. There is an argument to play Vault Skirge. Play Vault Skirge, pay 2, go down to 5. He swings for bolt range next turn. We play Ornithopter, hold up 3. Because this will do 2 damage. This will do 2 damage, which is good. I just don't want to get it within bolt range. That's my problem. I guess we run down Etched Champion. We go like this because if he doesn't have an answer for it, and he's going to swing in for 5. So if he doesn't have an answer for it, then next turn we can start. Yeah, actually, maybe we should have played the Vault Skirge. No, Vault Skirge puts us in threat of Bolt, especially when he's in Faithless Looting. That's also very, 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 very dangerous for us. I mean, I guess him being red, I mean, he should have a lot of different artifact removal in his sideboard, which is good for him, not so good for us. Yes. So Faithless Looting, he's pitching these guys. Wow. I'm surprised he wouldn't just run these. Oh, he doesn't have the extra light. He doesn't have the extra forest. That makes sense. Does make sense. So Burning Tree Emissary. If he has a Goblin Destructive Revelry, that puts us to dead. Well played, opponent. Well played. Well, let's go to sideboard. We'll scoop that one up. I'll actually try. We'll just let our opponent actually do the thing. So that puts us to dead. Sideboarding. What do we need anything at this point? Do we need anything at this point? We could throw in the negates to counter his stuff. I don't know if we need to, though. I think at this point we're actually in a better spot. Actually, come to think of it, I don't know if we even need Shatman Blast anymore. Huh. No, I think we're fine. I think we don't really have a whole lot to deal against a Stompy deck because usually we're faster than them. So that's a thing to keep in mind. And we will definitely play first. Let's open up these graveyards for you guys. This looks pretty sweet. We will keep that. We will keep that indeed. Especially because, well, I mean, if turn 3 we can run down Etched Champion, that'd be rad. I think we run down Darksteel Citadel, Vault Skirge, Hang the Life, and then we are 1 artifact away from Galvanic Blasting for 4, which will take out most of his things. Kind of puts him in an awkward situation. Likely as well, he won't have 1 mana destruction. We saw that he had Shatter. Is it Shatter? Shrapnel Blast. It does have a Lightning Bolt though. Shrapnel Blast, which deals 3 damage when it destroys something. Lightning Bolt, I guess, is always the the most affordable. And I guess we ship it, actually. We have at least we have a turn for 3 of this guy. Shrapnel Blast is really good if you're trying to just also aggro at your opponent, because it deals 3 damage on top of destroying an artifact. So, always good. The nice thing with this is we can always Galvanic Blast for 2 damage. So if he does run down a Burning Tree Emissary or one of his other guys that's annoying for us, get rid of it. We can get rid of it now. I mean, just keeping threats off the board is going to be how we get farther into the game. The other thing as well is we need to get Etched Champion down with 3 artifacts. So yeah, so there's a Burning Tree Emissary. And depending on what he plays, we might blow up either that or the next thing he plays. We're going to get rid of one of them, so we're going to get rid of Scavenging Ooze. Definitely getting rid of Scavenging Ooze. Like 100%. So Galvanic Blast you away. Not even going to let our opponent have the chance of making that thing bigger and eating away our stuff. Don't even give them the chance. Not even the time of day. Swamp is really not what we wanted. We might as well run down the other Shivan Reef. And so we have 2 options here. We could either be mana efficient, which is what we're going to do. We could either be mana efficient with Etched Champion, or we could hold up Galvanic Blast to remove something else. We're at 17, so I'm not too worried about taking damage if he does decide he wants to swing in with the Burning Tree Emissary. That's fine. And at this point, I'm not sure if he has the Bushwhackers, either of them, the Goblin Bushwhacker or the Reckless Bushwhacker. He could have it. I mean, his deck looks like it also should be designed to be a Bushwhacker deck, but doesn't mean it's there. Usually you don't see people playing Scavenging Ooze. Mind you, they might have Scavenging Ooze coming in from the sideboard as a way of basically gaining life back. Could be it. And also triple land. So there's the Shatter Spree. So, kind of a pain in my butt. If we draw into an Ornithopter, Etched Champion's going to be great. Or any 1-drop artifact for that matter. Then Etched Champion is going to be really good. Darksteel Citadel will do it. Darksteel Citadel will definitely do it. Bang, bang, bang. And then we can also hold up Galvanic Blast, so if he does decide he wants to do something crazy, fun. And at this point, he can't even get rid of this. He can't get rid of any of these, because these are indestructible, and this has protection from colors. So we can block 4 days. Like, days and days and days. Like, this is a horrible situation for our opponent to be in right now. 100% horrible. That said, we don't really have any action in our hand, but I'm not too concerned about it, seeing so we can just block anything he wants to do. So I'm okay with that. Burning Tree Emissary. Into a Bushwhacker? I'm assuming no. We can also Galvanic Blast for 4 now, so if he does decide to play something bigger, such as his 3/3 Haste Wither creature, we can always kill it. So this guy here. So likely, if he swings in, cool, we might just block. I'm assuming he won't swing at both of them, because then he'll lose this guy, and then we'll actually blow this guy up. Does he attack in with both? It's kind of silly if he does. Mind you, that said, oh, he does anyways. Okay, well, that's a thing. So, for starters, I'm going to blow up this guy. Paying a red. Because we do have 3 artifacts. 1, 2, 3. So that's going to blow up that guy. Getting rid of him. And then we're going to go to blocks, and we're going to block the Burning Tree Emissary. Yes. Okay. That's the plan. That's the way we're going. Kind of a silly move on our opponent's part. I'm surprised he attacked in. Seems silly. I don't get it. And Vault Skirge does seem cool. We can even not pay the life for it, which is fun. Yeah. Play Vault Skirge. Start getting some lifelink. And because we have the swamp, we don't have to pay any life. That's always fun. And we're not going to attack in because... Or do I attack in? I don't think I attack in. I'll hold off just in case he wants to swing in. We can just jump block. I would rather build up a board state rather than try and be aggro right now. Especially at 11. Because who knows, if he does have Bushwhackers or something like that, he can run down something bigger, and I'd rather just block it at this point. Establish board state control, and then move to winning the game. That's kind of the route we're going right now. Example, there you go. So he runs down to 3/3. So the thing is, this thing it deals damage in the form of 1/1 counters, but because it says protection, it can't take damage, so yeah. Can't even deal the damage to it. Which our opponent may not know. I'm assuming our opponent doesn't know that. So here you go. Have fun. So it deals 2 damage. Fun. Congratulations. Hey, Metallic Rebuke. Okay. We're going to attack him with the Vault Skirge, just to start gaining life back. So it'll be a very, very slow chip damage at this point, but it will get there. And also having Metallic Rebuke is actually really good at this point. Like, really good at this point. Okay, Vault Skirge, go! and then ship it to our opponent's turn. See what they have to say. See what they have to say, indeed. Oh, Affinity. I feel like I should play more Affinity. Every single time I play Affinity, I'm like, actually, you know what? I kind of like this. It's kind of all these fun little synergies. This kind of works with that, and all the little pieces kind of work together quite well. So, it's always fun. It's one of those funner decks. If you're looking to get into Modern, this is probably a really good deck to do that with. Opponent. Ooh, our opponent's going to have a bad day. Well, not that bad a day, but they're going to have a slightly bad day. I guess it doesn't really matter what we actually tap. So we're going to counter the Bloodbraid Elf. He does get the Cascade, which we can't stop. But depending on what he Cascades into, yeah. So at this point, I would say he does not have any of the Bushwhacker cards. Simply because Bushwhackers and... Oh, Scavenging Ooze. Such a good card for our opponent. Because Bushwhacker Brothers do not play very well with Bloodbraid. Because neither of them you get the everything gets +1/+1 trace haste and triggers when you cascade into it, because they both have alternative ways of attacking, alternative ways of casting the card. What am I talking about here? Jesus. Well, we taking out the Burning Tree Emissary. Obviously, he can eat the Burning Tree Emissary, which is not here, not there. He will slowly gain life back, but I think we're in a better spot. Taking 3. If I draw into Master of Etherium, he's a very good card, actually. So it's going to be blue, black, and this other thing. And that's going to make... That's a very good card. That's like the card to draw right now. So we're going to make this guy start swinging for 2. We can now block this thing favorably. And it's also a 5/5, which is very cool. So, combat, swing for 2, gain 2 life back. Looking better. Looking better every single day. And again, the fact it's a 5/5. Ooh. So, I mean, he's not going to swing in with his Scavenging Ooze because we will block it with the Master of Etherium. And Destructive Revelry. Destructive Revelry is decent. I see what you're doing there, boy. I see what you're doing. I mean, that is a card that does get rid of this guy. Still, we can still block for days here. Mind you, we are technically on the losing end of this battle. At this exact point. And this deals 2 damage to that permanent's controller. So it also did 2 damage to us. Need more action. That's what we need right now. More action. So, mind you, we are both at the 0 cards game. So it is top deck to the win. That said, I do have card draw in my deck. And I'm assuming... I mean, he has, Bloodbraid Elf, which is not really card draw, but it's like card acceleration, technically, or board state acceleration, which is good. It's very good. Yeah. Kind of realize this thing's maybe a little bit high. My face is like constantly hiding behind the microphone. Does our opponent attack in? I assume our opponent would attack in with both of these guys. Actually, attacking with Scavenging Ooze would be really bad for our opponent. Our opponent doesn't attack with either. Oh, Cranial Plating. That's really good, actually, right now. Okay, well, we're going to throw Cranial Plating on this guy, and then we are going to start gaining some serious life. Our opponent needed to hold up that for that guy. So, equip to this guy for the 1 black. And now this guy becomes what? Other than big. Other than big. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's a 6/1. 6/1 lifelink flying. That's scary. That's very scary for our opponent. And our opponent has no cards in hand, so they have no real answer. So, go to attacks and do a whole bunch of damage. Very exciting. This is the game plan. Okay, well, there's that. Again, gaining 6 life is very painful for our opponent at this point. That's not a good thing. Not a good thing at all. Because now they're like getting farther and farther to reach. They were like hoping, okay, maybe I can wipe the board and swing in with like 5 damage and then have a lightning bolt. Bam. You mean they're like that close? Or get a couple lightning bolts and they could have been, 3 lightning bolts away. Maybe that's a little bit far-fetched. But they were like a couple cards away from just burning us out. Not anymore. Now the life totals are a completely different swing. Oh, but Bloodbraid Elf. Does Bloodbraid Elf bring the thing? Simian Spirit Guide. Sure. Yeah. Yeah, that works. Theoretically. Theoretically, that does work. So if he swings with everything, he's doing 5 damage. I don't know if that's enough. I don't think that's a good... No. No, opponent's holding up. He's going to try and go really wide. Mind you, if we draw into another artifact... No, we draw into a mountain. Well, we have to keep swinging in. Because right now, I mean, we're gaining more life. We're gaining almost as much life as our opponent can do to us in 1 turn. And our opponent's on a 2-turn clock. So they have to respond. I mean, they need to either... They need to draw into artifact removal for either one of these 2 things. Obviously, probably this guy. Actually, no. If they draw into artifact removal, they have to use it on Cranial Plating. If they don't use it on Cranial Plating, then we throw the Cranial Plating on Etched Champion, which has protection from colors, which means none of his stuff can block. It means he's dead. So that's his option right now, because we're at 19. So he's going to gain life. So the problem right now is, like, even gaining 1 life is still putting him in lethal. We're still in lethal range. Still in range of lethal. And he is not. He's at 9, 10, 11. He is 8 life off. 8 damage off from being lethal for us. Not a good situation for him. Us drawing into a mountain sucked. Like, really sucked. That was not what we needed. So him decking in, we go like this. We take 6, 7, 8. He loses his Bloodbraid Elf. And then Chief of the Foundry. Now, opponent scoops it up. Well, that's been, this is Affinity, game number 1. I will see you guys tomorrow, or you'll see me tomorrow, with game number 2 of Affinity versus another deck. Until next time, my name's Adrian, this is Giant Monster Games. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to game like a giant monster.
Thanks for watching the videos here on Giant Monster Games. If you want to support the channel directly, we now have a Patreon page which you can go and become part of the broader Giant Monster Games community. Additionally, if you want to see some other awesome videos, you can click right here or right here.